This here is the KGM Musso EVX, a fully electric pickup truck. Now, before you skip this video because you don't care about pickup trucks, let me just tell you a few interesting details about this car. It's 5 meters 20 long, it seats 5 people, it's got 80 kilowatt hours of battery produced by BYD, and it can do more than 400 kilometers at highway speeds. Even so, it costs less than many SUVs, even smaller SUVs. In fact, I was going to do a trip in this car with my family, but we decided not to do it because this car is too small. I swear, it's full of very interesting details, and if you stick around, I'll show them to you right here because you're watching Totally Electric.
The KGM Musso EVX is available in both front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive versions. Even the front-wheel drive is quite agile and performs well off-road. Since this is an EV, there's plenty of torque, but if you can afford the all-wheel drive version, then that's definitely the way to go.
So when I say that it costs less than a small compact SUV, it's because you can get this car in Spain, as it is right here in this video, for 36,500 euros. That means, before incentives, before any government subsidies, that is the same price as an entry-level Tesla Model 3 or a Toyota CHR Plus, for example.
The load bed of the KGM Musso EVX measures 1.35 meters in length, 1.5 meters in width, and about half a meter in height. That gives it a wide and relatively deep cargo area for a pickup of this type, with enough room for bulky items that would not fit easily in a conventional SUV boot. It is clearly designed to prioritize open cargo space and practicality, although, as with any exposed pickup bed, how useful that space is will also depend on whether it is fitted with optional covers or accessories.
By the way, if you've never heard about the brand KGM, they used to be called SsangYong. Maybe you heard of them. That used to be a collaboration with Mercedes. Let me show you the exterior of this car. There's a lot of showboating about this car. For example, these here seems like nice places to hook up something if you want to, I don't know, attach it to the front part of your car. But they're plastic. They have absolutely no hold. Do not hook anything up to that. I do like the front. It is very, very cool. The design is masculine, squarish. Oh yeah, perfect for such a vehicle, right? Just perfect for my off-roading. Yeah, there's another little thing here though. You see these two things here? This red block there and its cushion there on the other side. Well, they would appear to be metal so that they can withstand, something hitting it or even pushing or hooking something up to it or something. No, this is plastic. It's pure design. There's no functionality to them whatsoever. There's functionality down here though. This is the radar, just as up there towards the top of the vehicle, you have the cameras. Because this vehicle, even though it looks like a big off-roader, is actually a very comfortable highway driver. It's got lane keep assists and it's got adaptive cruise control and many other such features. Now, I do like the lights at the front. You see how the line goes across there? Wow, looks fantastic. I think that it's a bit of a differentiating factor from all these Chinese cars that just got one flat light bar. I like this one here. I also like the big chunky lights down there in these inserts there. Wheels are nice. They're not oversized and massively inefficient. They're quite tall, so good for off-roading there, right? 17-inch rims, big rear view mirrors, good visibility through them. I like that. You got bars on top, and even though they are part plastic, you can actually open them up and get access to some things you want to attach down there. Good thing for them. Down the back, we find this rhinoceros logo. I like the rhino. And we've got these handlebars here. Again, these handlebars are plastic, so I wouldn't attach anything way too heavy to them. By the way, at the back, you have a glass going through there, so you can actually see out the rear view window, which is fantastic instead of having to put a camera inside the mirror. Yeah, so overall, I think it is a fantastic looking vehicle. Looks absolutely smart. It doesn't look too bulky and off-roady. It looks like something you can actually drive around, go to the shop and all that, except for one little detail. There's nowhere to store your shopping bags.
When I say there is no space for luggage in this car, I mean there are absolutely no places to put your luggage. You could put it in the bed in the back, but there is no cover with this vehicle, or at least there is no cover as standard. You can buy it as an extra. There's no frunk, there's no space behind the seats, and since this is an EV, you could have made extra space under the double floor in the bed, like for example on a Tesla Cybertruck. No, there's no space to put a suitcase anywhere. Even more, if you're using this for professional purposes, there's no place to put any tools or anything like that. You'd have to bring them with you inside the actual cabin.
I'm driving on a dirt road here, and though I only have 18 centimeters of ground clearance, 18 centimeters isn't all that bad. Don't let anybody tell you that 18 centimeters isn't enough. Front wheel drive is okay for this, but I would have definitely preferred all wheel drive for this kind of terrain. But I've had no problems going over holes and muddy fields and stuff like that so far. It seems like the torque from the electrical engine combined with these relatively tall tires, they do a good job of just getting you to go where you want to go. Now, I gotta say that this is a very, very well isolated or insulated cabin. I hear almost no noise from the outside. I can whisper to you and you can still hear me. Nothing creaks or anything like that inside this car. It seems like it's really well put together. It does, however, feel a little bit more like, you know, some kind of sedan or SUV design in here, more than an actual pickup. It's the same materials as we've seen in the Taurus EVX, which is the other car from this brand. Oh, there's another one coming soon that we'll be testing in a week or two. But it doesn't feel like a brute. It doesn't feel like it's unsophisticated. It actually feels quite nice in here. It's the kind of car you can take to the farm, haul around some stuff in the back, and then, you know, use it to take your family around town as well during the weekends. The suspension does a very good job of isolating me from the actual gravel. Feels very comfortable inside this car. Driving this car is just as easy as driving your Fiat Panda. Even though this is 5.16 meters long and it weighs 2.4 tons, it's electric, so it's super easy to drive. You can adjust the regenerative braking with these flappy paddles behind the steering wheel. It doesn't come to full stop though, but regen is quite good. It's okay. It's on par with many BYD vehicles, but perhaps a little bit more aggressive. Now I've put it in max regen, and as you can see, I'm slowing down. However, when I get to 10 kilometers an hour, I'm still creeping forward. And I can't turn that off. That is a shame though. However, I've got lane keep assist, I've got adaptive cruise control, and I've got this. Do you hear that? I think I stepped on the line, so the car beeps at me. Now, if I start to fiddle too much with the screen, or if I look away from the front of the car for just a few seconds, let me do that just to show you. If I look at you, this here is the distracted driver warning, and it is incredibly loud, incredibly annoying, and incredibly intrusive. That there, I don't know what that was, speed change warning or something like that. So if I go over the speed limit, it's going to beep at me again, I think. Well, honestly, you can turn off some of these warnings, not all of them though. The one with the distracted driver, I can't turn that off. And to be honest, sometimes it thinks I'm distracted when I'm super paying attention. So that is quite annoying. Other than that, it is a lovely car to drive. I've got heated seats. I mean, even in the back, you can heat up the seats. I don't know of many work crews where they get in and they go, "Oi, turn on the heating in the back. My bum's cold." This car is as easy to drive as any other small electric car even. It's wonderful to drive it. I could have done a long road trip in this one. 80 kilowatt hours, it got 420 kilometers WLTP. So I bet I could do 300 kilometers on the highway, do a 20-minute, maybe 30-minute stop at most, because it charges at 120 kilowatts. And then I could go another 2 to 3 hours. So easily 500 to 600 kilometers on a single stop. It's fine. Perfectly good for traveling. Except you can't put your suitcases anywhere. That is annoying. Right, so the interior of the Musso EVX looks quite sophisticated, but it looks a little bit more like an urban SUV than an actual pickup truck. I've got this massive display here in the middle, and I've got a big display behind the screen, behind the steering wheel as well. The steering wheel itself is very pickup-like. It's big and chunky. I've got buttons on it. I've got pedals for regenerative braking. I've got this button here to change between sport and eco. Those are the only two modes. There's no normal. It's either sport or eco. Deal with it. The mode button changes between Bluetooth and other audio sources. I can heat the steering wheel. I can use adaptive cruise control and lane keep assist here on the right hand side. And that's about it. It's just sort of a standard setup. Now, I do have access to Apple CarPlay, but only if my phone is plugged in. If not, we're down to just regular good old-fashioned Bluetooth. The system itself is very basic. It does nothing fancy. I've got access to some setup and some stuff. The most fancy thing is I can have a siesta on the rear seats, which basically means it turns off the speakers in the rear seats. But other than that, it's just regular car setup. The GPS or the sat nav is quite basic as well. It's TomTom, so it's good old-fashioned. And if I search for a route, like for example Barcelona, which is about 600 kilometers from here, it will notice that I'm not going to get there, so it's going to ask me, do you want to add charging points? And I say, yeah, add some charging points. So it'll then find charging points more or less where it thinks I'm going to run out of battery, but it's not going to plan an entire route with several charging stops and percentage this and times that and all that. You got to do that manually. It's still very much a basic system here. If I choose one of them, so let's add this as a stop, it'll do it. It'll get me there. I think it's fine. A little bit basic, but fine. Now, I really do like the display I have behind the steering wheel. It's big. It's easy to read all the information I've got there, and I can customize and put all sorts of different data points on there. I can use it for maps, I can use it for ADAS systems, or I can just have my speed and, you know, car stats, whatever I like on there. That's quite nice. If I go into the EV mode and I actually plug in the car because I want to charge it up, I have to plug it in and then I have to click on start charging. It doesn't start automatically when I plug it in. It's the first car I've ever tried where you actively have to click on a button that says start charging. In fact, the first night I didn't know it, so when I came down the next morning, it hadn't charged, and I figured out this was the problem. So overall, it's actually quite nice here in the interior. The system is basic. The screen behind the steering wheel is nice. Honestly, I can forgive all of these minor details and errors because the price point is so low. So if you ask yourself how much space is in the rear seat here, well, quite a lot actually. I've got plenty of leg room, I've got plenty of headroom, and I think if I can pull this one up here, there you go. And I've got something to lay my head on so I can do the siesta thing that the screen was talking about in the front. Plenty of space in the back, except where to keep all my stuff? I gotta just chuck it in here.
One of the most surprising things about the KGM Musso EVX is that it includes a whopping 1 million kilometer warranty on the drivetrain and the batteries. I think there are no other pickups on the market that offer the same.
So that is the KGM Musso EVX. And even though this might not be the most practical of pickup trucks, I really like it. I think the styling is fantastic. It's got great features, and the price point, I mean, it's just unbeatable, isn't it? I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please comment down below. I'll catch you again soon on another video here on Totally Electric. Ciao.